Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our virtual monthly workshop. We've got a big treat for you today, Omar Periu, and I will introduce him. Although the terms dynamic and high energy describe Omar Periu as he is today, they aren't exactly the words which portrayed the results accomplished in his early career. Omar and his family fled Castro's regime when he was only 7 years old. They arrived in Miami with no money, no family or friends, and nothing but the clothes on their backs. Omar proudly shares his rags to riches story for others to hear about and learn from. Not knowing enough about success, Omar sought out and studied the masters. He observed the difference between the performances of top achievers and those barely making it. By the time he turned 31, he owned some of the most profitable fitness facilities in the U.S. From his modest beginnings as a salesperson, Omar knew the pain of failure. That is how he developed his zero-to-wealth systems, the investigative selling principles, the one-minute meeting effective presentation system, and from management to leadership. Implementing these into his own career, he soon became one of the top professionals in his field. He mastered effective presentations, sophisticated closings, and the power to influence and persuade. He is now teaching these unique systems to entrepreneurs, salespeople, and leaders all over the world. And we are very, very lucky to have him. And with that, I will turn it over to Omar.
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate it, Allison. That was great. I want to welcome everyone. Thank you. And special thanks to our host, the Boca Chamber. And I've been fortunate enough to know Troy when he was the assistant to the assistant to the assistant. And that was a long time ago. And I'm so proud of him and gotten to know Sarah and Chastity and Allison and the whole team. And what a great chamber. We're very blessed to have the best chamber in the country, I believe. So thank you again. To all of you, this is a presentation that comes from one of my books called The 1 Minute Meeting, which you've probably heard of, did very well, launched about 20 years ago, and it was a #1 bestseller. Winning presentations is the name of this topic, even though I put Speak Without Fear, because I figured I've been talking to a lot of people about Zoom and speaking on Zoom, and some people get a little nervous because it's all new to them. So I just finished, I did 5 Zooms with Les Brown. And in fact, we did one yesterday in Australia, which is kind of good. I didn't have to fly there. So I did this presentation for them. So I'm excited. So let's get started. First, for those of you that don't know me, I live in Boca Raton. And I live between here and Laguna Beach, California. And I was fortunate enough to move here and raise my family here, my kids. And really love it here. Love the people. Love the people is what I like. I like the organizations. I like the camaraderies. As you can, I'm on the board of governors at NOVA, board of directors at Wayne Huizenga School of Entrepreneurs. Some of those different things. I have 21 best-selling books now, which is amazing to me. Because when I went to school, I was the reason there was an upper class, So when I got a C, there was a celebration in my house. So here I am with 21 best-selling books. I'm on iTunes, Udemy, you name it, Amazon, all kinds of stuff. But I'm really excited, so I don't want to talk about myself too much. I want to get on this. So Speak Without Fear, winning presentations. To me, I think you have to set the premise for doing these Zoom calls. And the first thing I want you to do is, I just moved, believe it or not, this weekend. I moved from my home to a new place. And normally behind me, you would see my logo or something like that. So just make sure whenever you do these presentations that you don't have a bunch of clutter behind you. So it doesn't distract from your intent, right? Your intent is what you want to achieve for the Zoom call or whatever you're doing. There's all kinds of new services coming out called Zoom, so I want to make sure I cover all of them. So the first thing I want to do is get you set up before you begin, right? So I'm gonna do, I believe that preparation is the key to presentations. So I wanna set you up before. So the first thing I like to do is, when I do these presentations, is I like to talk about how to set your mind and body for it. So this is a different type of presentation than you'll see most people that do these, which are friends of mine. They'll talk about your, mostly your PowerPoint or that kind of stuff. But I'm going to talk to you about your mind and your body and your attitude and your success. So 80% of being effective in front of a group is why you do it. Why are you doing it? So for me, I'm doing this for all of you because I want to help you give better winning presentations on your Zoom and your platform that we're using now to move. So what is your reason? Why are you doing it? And the other why is, my relationship with the chamber. My other why would be to have you guys get to know me, right? So your intent is very important. Why? 20% should be the logical. Now, what does that mean, Omar? Well, if you ever notice, the most effective presenters are the ones that are focused on the delivery when they're presenting, not the words and everything that they have to say, right? So, like for instance, I've done 10 events in the last few years for Tony Robbins. And if you ever saw Tony Robbins live or now on his Zooms, he's totally out there, passionate, not internal. He's external, which means, I'll show you how to do that in a moment, that 80% is about why you're doing it, 20% is the logic, like the things that you're gonna cover. So, next, belief, get the message across. One of the things that I want you to do is really focus on getting the message across. If you notice, I will use my body a lot. So I'm gonna talk to you about some of the things that you need to do. Of course, be passionate. Like I said, any of the speakers that you see right now that are online, that are doing well, any presenters that are online are very passionate. So what I want you to think about is whatever you did live in front of people, exaggerate it a little more, right? When you're on these Zooms, you want to exaggerate a little more. Let them see your hands once in a while. Don't just sit there and stare at your camera and, because you lose it. The other thing is, remember, look at the camera. Don't always be looking. I have a full presentation in front of me. I will look down at it, but I look at the camera, so I'm talking to you. So make sure you look for that camera and stare into it once in a while. You don't want to overdo it. You might scare them, right? So next, that 10% should be internal. So here's what I find. If you start thinking about what you're saying, you're going to lose your message. So what I want you to do is be totally prepared. I'm going to show you how to be totally prepared before you do these calls. All right. So here's a little technique that I teach. It's called see, feel, go. So what you do is you look at the PowerPoint, see it, feel it, and then look into the camera. Let me say that again. See, feel, go. Like I'll do it for you. I'm looking at my PowerPoint. I see it, I feel it, and I look into the camera and talk to you. It's called see, feel, go. I find that you're more connected with people because they see you moving around and see that you're actively engaged into what you're doing, okay? Now, you look at your outline. As I said, it could be an outline. Like for instance, on my right, I have some really cool quotes that I use all the time. Like for instance, I would say, hey, I'd like to read something for you. Our attitude is determined. I want to talk about attitude. Our attitude is determined by our circumstances, but how we respond to our circumstances is what matters, right? Our minds determine our attitude. We can respond positively or negatively. It's how we react to our events. Attitude, not the events themselves, that determine our attitude. So attitude is everything. So see, I looked at my notes and I looked at you. See, feel, go. Look at the outline. Look at your PowerPoint. Feel what you want to express, the why, and then focus on communicating with your audience. That's the main thing, right? I studied opera. I'm a lyric tenor. In the opera, we're taught that you never turn your back to the audience unless it's part of the opera, right? So every time we walked around, I'm a lyric tenor, and we would walk around on stage, even if you were like walking, you would always be turned to the audience talking to them. This is the same thing. You want to be turned to the camera and be turning, don't be careful of all that. The next thing, really important, your mindset. People like me and want to hear what I have to say. You got to like feel good about yourself before you get on these Zooms, and not be so, be confident. One of the things that I teach, that I really love to teach, is confidence. Confidence is your best friend in presenting. So remember, work on your self-esteem and self-image, which will give you confidence. That's self-control, right? Next, tell yourself, I am powerful and effective, and they need to hear what I have to say. You're going to do this before you get on here. So what I want you to do is take 5 minutes away from the Zoom. Most, like today, we got on at 8 o'clock. We checked everything, make sure your PowerPoint's right or whatever you're using, anything, whatever. But you prepare everything, make sure you do a special practice, right? Like we did this morning at 8, make sure everything's correct. And then take 5 minutes, walk away, and tell yourself, I am powerful and effective. They need what I have to say. Believe in it, say it. Brian Tracy, one of my mentors, taught me, believe in yourself and be confident. Tell yourself, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. So, he taught me that when I was 19 years old, a long time ago. Next, make sure that you visualize yourself succeeding in your presentation. So see yourself succeeding in the presentation, telling yourself, I'm going to do great. It's going to be great. They're going to get my message. They're going to get my intent. Make sure that you do that. Next thing, a master key to all, and I'm going to say speakers, even though, we're all speakers, right? Whether you're a salesperson, a realtor, a mortgage, an attorney, a chiropractor, whatever it is, a master key to all of us is to become better every time. Again, I learned that from my mentor, Zig Ziglar, who wrote the foreword to my book, From Management to Leadership. And he said, your goals become better every time, right? Now, what I want you to do is, before you get on, is to imagine the outstanding results your audience will get from your experience. So my thought for you guys when I woke up this morning is that I want you guys to be able to be better prepared, handle better your presentation, know how to handle fear, more confidence, and be able to deliver your message so you get your intent, because it's a little different now. I was telling the team that I just did 3 talks. I've only done 3 live talks since this happened in March 15th. That was my last event in New York. And I've done 3 talks, and they've been live events, but the rooms are much smaller. There's, I'm used to 2,000 people, and my average audience is 2,000 people. So now my audiences have been 12, 15. So those are, it's a whole different thing. So you really got to connect with people even more when you're doing these Zooms, because you can lose them. Because I was talking to a few of I did a program for a school, and they were talking to their teachers, and they were saying how they noticed that a lot of the people can put just a blank screen and walk away. Well, what are they doing? They're doing something else, right? So you want to make sure that you're engaged. So here's what I want you to do if you're taking notes. Enroll them, compel them, engage them. Enroll them by telling them what you're going to talk about, right? Compel them to be there, and engage them by your actions, your PowerPoint, your eyes, you're moving in, you're moving out, you're looking at your notes, you're always like moving so they don't know what to expect next. Next, Tell yourself, I'm a great presenter, I'm a great presenter, I'm a great presenter. I want you to do that 3 times before you get on the Zoom. I'm a great presenter, I'm a great presenter, I'm a great presenter, just to get yourself fired up. After that, tell yourself, people like listening to me. You know, I got something good to share. Then, I am funny, humorous, have fun. You know, a lot of us don't get that, but you got to make it light. You got to make it fun so people get that through the presentation. I'm an actor. Look, I studied opera. I'm a lyric tenor. We're all actors. You got to study acting for that. Everybody's an actor on these Zooms. So get used to being more dramatic, using your hands, moving your body. Just, you know, feel it, feel it, feel it, right? You got to feel it. You know, one of the reasons I've been and I've spoken with lots of people around the world. And one of the things that I find is that the people that are real analytical and real internal, when they leave, you don't remember a word they said. But the person that's passionate, that has a lot of passion and dramatic, like you think of a Tony Robbins, or, you know, I spoke with Bill Clinton, another great speaker I speak with, General Colin Powell, another friend of mine that I speak with. Some of these speakers are really great on stage. Oprah Winfrey, who I've worked with. Just a lot of these people, if you remember these names, you remember their passion, right? So they're dramatic, they're passionate, right? I spoke with Obama. He's a great speaker. So, you know, these people are getting paid $300,000 for a 45-minute talk. So, you know, they're why? Because they're who they are, number one. Number two, they're great on stage and speaking. People want to see that. Tell yourself you're a great persuader and enjoy it. Have fun, enjoy it. You know what? You know, Les Brown and we do a lot of events. And the reason I love working with him because he's fun. He's a lot of fun. He's enjoyable. He always keeps me laughing with that funny laugh. He's got that, you know, gotta be hungry. You know, I love that. So I love that guy. So I love, because you know, it's a joy to be on these. I was just telling the team, Allison and Chastity, that I just did a 2-day event with him. 2 days, my goodness, 30 speakers. You know, I emceed it. That's a long time. You gotta have fun, right? You better have fun. Physiology. My state must be a 10. So here's what I mean. From 1 to 10, where are you? I want you to be no less than an 8 to 10 when you do these. Your energy is very, very compassionate. It's transformed. See, when 2 people meet on these, the person that has the most passion, the most congruency about what they're doing is going to transfer themselves through the Zoom call, right? You cannot transfer that you are not experiencing. So if we were doing a motivational speech today, this is a workshop. And I would tell you my story. Like when I spoke yesterday, I told my story first. Why? I wanted to tell them about myself, coming from Cuba, how I escaped, got to Miami, sponsored by a church, to Chicago, brought up there, met these great kids. Then I went to college, met my mentor. See, so I would tell a story. It takes about 15, 20 minutes. I wanted to get right to the training. You guys can learn about me by just going to my website, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook, please. And every day we give some really great messages to keep you positive and passionate. So be strong, relaxed, and flexible. Stuff is going to happen. Like, you guys don't know this, but this morning we had a little issue with my PowerPoint, but we fixed it because we got a great team. So well, we figured out that my laptop came back from the servicing and they deleted some stuff and moved some things around. Actually, looks like they were listening to some music on my laptop. So we had to, you know, move that stuff back to general the way my new laptop is. Next, be balanced and resourceful. Sometimes people are going to ask you questions after your talk, and you got to be ready to respond. If you don't know the answer, it's okay to say, hey, you know what? I don't know the answer, but here's my email. Send me an email, and I'll be happy to find out what the answer is and get back with you if you want to, right? Focus. So I always talk about centering your forehead right here. So when you focus and you're talking to the Zoom, focus right here on being direct and talking into the camera, or if you're looking at the PowerPoint, or if you're looking at your notes, right? Or if you're looking at your books, whatever it is, focus. Don't go there too long though, okay? I always say there's a 3-second rule. 3-second rule. If you're looking at your PowerPoint, look at it for see, feel, go, right? See, feel, go. But if you're looking at your notes, see, feel, go, right? Next, open up all your senses before you get on these. And the way I do it is I go away from the part. Once we set everything up, I walk away from it. I tell myself, I'm a great presenter, I'm a great presenter, I'm a great presenter. And I get fired up. You know, if you ever saw people like Tony Robbins is a martial arts black belt. He does, I've spoken with him, he does martial arts kicks. He looks like he's gonna kill somebody before he gets on stage or gets on one of these. He's like, you know, gets fired up. And I've seen a lot of speakers, they all have their own thing. Some like to be quiet. Like my mentor Zig Ziglar would always pray before he went up on stage. Everybody's different. So what works for you? Could be music, could be reading something that motivates you, could be working out, it could be going for a walk, whatever it is, get that going before you do the Zoom, right? All right, next, fill the Zoom with your whole being. Make sure that you're filling that camera with you. If you have something behind you that you're gonna write on, make sure that you put the camera so people can see it, right? And what I would recommend is a second camera, and I do this, I put a second camera on the notepad or whatever I'm gonna write on the screen, and I have that switched out when I go to do it, and it shows me and the screen. Again, don't turn your back, know your stuff, and write what you need to write. And sometimes what I like to do is I write it before, so then I don't have to worry about writing. So that's a good little thing that I like to share with teachers, that, and you guys were all presenters, so you already write out all your notes, so then you just go to them and you can use a pen or something else and point to what you're talking about while you're looking at the camera, right? Next, use your face, right? Make sure you're using your face when you're doing Zoom. A lot of people get numb and, hi, how are you? Oh, no, right? And then, of course, by the way, I'm wearing a nice shirt. So wear a nice shirt if you're, wear your uniform. So like, for instance, my brother's a chiropractor. He would wear his chiropractic uniform for these Zooms. If you're a lawyer, make sure you're wearing whatever color you wear, like the dark blue, gray, or black, right? With your nice shirt and tie. When I do these wealth events, I just wear a nice shirt because, you know, at these wealth events, they don't want to wear a suit. That's the reason they go to these things. They want to be, quote, rich, whatever that means, right? And so they want to be like, one guy has a program that I speak for, and his program is called I Work From Home in My Pajamas. That's that's the name of his Zoom. So I do his events for him 3 a month, and I get on and he says, you know, he wears like a hoodie with a hat, a cap backwards. I get on with just a t-shirt, and but I still wear a shirt or a t-shirt, but I won't wear a tie or a jacket. So what I'm trying to say is every audience is different. So make sure that you're adapting to your audience so they know that you are connected to them, right? So for instance, when I work for Zepp Manufacturing, they're a chemical company that you see at Home Depot and all that. I work for them. Their salespeople and managers walk around with a Zepp Manufacturing t-shirt. So they literally mail me the shirts. Some companies like will mail me the shirt, and I'll wear their shirt when I speak for them. So they see I have their logo. If I work like I train BB&T Bank, when I speak for BB&T Bank, I'll wear a BB&T shirt and jacket. I wear my jacket with my BB&T shirt, right? Or if they send me a hat, I'll wear their hat if they want me to. Whatever it is, you know, speak to your audience. Be there with them. Be who they are. That's what they want. People like people that are associated with them, people that are like them, right? Next, use your eyes. Make sure you use your eyes. And, you know, look in the camera, look at your PowerPoint, look at your notes, use your eyes, right? Use your face. Next, gestures and smiles. Be sure not to be a robot. I've seen a lot of people get on here and you know, you're wondering why they're blanking out your screen and going somewhere to do the dishes or get a bite to eat because they know that for the next 30 minutes they're gonna be put to sleep. So you want to use gestures and smiles and keep them, remember, engage, enroll, compel. Engage, enroll, compel, right? Next, positive, be your posture. Don't be slumped over. I see a lot of people slumping over. Make sure that your posture is straight up, that you're looking into the camera, that you're energetic, that you look great. Posture, confident, powerful body, hand movement, whole body. You know, make sure to use the step 2 technique. Sometimes when you're going fast, count 1,001, 1,002 and wait and let them catch up to you, right? Especially if they're like doing things like taking notes. Use vocal variety. If you're talking about lows, go low. If you're talking high, go high. Here's how you keep them interested. Vocal variety. Ask questions for them. Like for instance, if I could show you guys how to do this and do well at this, what would this be worth to you, right? We got to build yes momentum to keep them interested. Yes momentum keeps them asking questions that you ask that they would answer yes to. Build rapport. Move people to action. Every one of you that are doing these winning presentations are getting people to either want to call you or email you or set up an appointment with you. So whatever you want to do, remember your intent and move people to that action. It's called a call to action. Write that down, call to action. Every presentation that's a sales presentation or a presentation that you're wanting to get them to use your services should have a call to action, call to action. All right, develop the power to influence and persuade. So be a people mover. A people mover is someone who inspires people to want to use their services and their products. So become a PPS, professional problem solver, and a people mover, right? Next, build up tension and pressure. So what I like to do, I'll show you in a little bit how to build that up. So I want to wait till I do that so I can show you what I'm talking about. Next, use the pain pleasure principle. When you're talking to people, like say you're talking to them about life insurance, right? You want to talk about, tell them a story about someone that you know, the pain pleasure principle works like this. You want to create enough pain and then bring in the pleasure. So for instance, if you're talking about life insurance, you could talk about a story about someone that didn't have life insurance and now they passed, and the reason that you're telling the story is because now their family has to figure out a way to pay for their funeral and take care of their family and all this stuff. And if they would have had life insurance, then they would have had all of this taken care of and much, much more. That's called the pain pleasure principle. Start out with the pain, talk about the pain, then go into the pleasure, and then with the pleasure is a solution. Next, diamond analogy. Remember, every presentation, when it starts out, it's like a diamond. A diamond starts out as a piece of coal, right? So you want to start out and take that piece of coal and put a pressure on it and work on it. And I'm going to ask you to go through the presentation 10 times, unless you've done it a lot, 10 times if it's your first time, to create that beautiful diamond. Next, control and know your outcome. Your presentation should be leading them somewhere. What is your outcome? Like today, my outcome is for all of you to start following me on Facebook, Instagram. We're going to send you a link to get a free ebook called Get Fired Up. You'll be able to get that free ebook. Chastity's going to send you a link to get my free ebook, not the first 7 pages and you got to pay for it. No, the whole ebook, almost 200 pages. It's called Get Fired Up. You should all get it. It's free. I don't want nothing. So my intent today is have you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, give you a free ebook. And for some of you that want to use my services, again, I'll send you my email and phone number. Next, become a people mover, like we said. So manage your audience. You manage your audience by asking questions and saying things like, listen up, listen to this, next, let's move on to this, those kind of things. Use phrases that move people with your presentation. Change your state. So what I want you to do is, I hope by now you feel more energized talking to me, because what I do is I want to transfer my energy to you. And if you're having a bad day, I want to change your attitude. I want to change your motivation. I want to change your passion. I want to get you fired up, because that's how you make money, right? And the key for being in business, I mean, of the thousands of businesses that started January 1st, the main reason they'll close before December 31st because of lack of income, right? So I want all of you to get better at this so you can make more money. Next, build yes momentum. Like you've heard me doing it. Like, how many of you want to make more money? How many would like to create wealth and lots of it record time? And then you give them time to say yes, 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 yes. Like I have speakers that go do that yes, yes, yes momentum thing and get people fired up. Use third-party stories in your Zooms. So for instance, I just used one. I don't sell life insurance, but I know I train a lot of life insurance companies. So I know that pain pleasure principle story. So if I were talking to your life insurance company or your company, I would find things that I could help to transform people to buy your services and your product. That's what we do here at Omar Periu International. So what I would do is teach you that, use third-party stories. They could be positive stories. They could be negative stories. It could be a story about someone who, like I train automobile industry. So if I speak to them, you could talk about someone that had a bad experience and that kind of thing. Entertain and educate. I feel that most people don't entertain and educate. If you're educating, you've got to entertain them. People learn while they're being entertained. So again, use your eyes, use your face, body language, hands. I have this little table desk, I'm sure some of you have it, that moves up and down. So if I wanted to, right now I'm sitting, but if I wanted to, I could stand up and show, like I have a TV that I have as a PowerPoint that I could show that, and they would see me and the PowerPoint that I could click on, right? So I have something good to say. Tell yourself, I have something good to say before you get on. I have well-chosen words delivered with emotion that are close to my heart. How do you do that? Well, be sincere. Let them feel your sincerity. Like, it makes me nuts when I get on these events, especially these wealth events, that the people just talk about themselves and how they became rich for the whole day, instead of helping the attendees to become rich, right? And instead of just telling them how you became rich, tell them how to become rich. So if that's your topic, right? Repetition. Remember, people don't hear you the first time. Everybody thinks, oh, every word I say is so important. No, it's not. They've done research that on Zoom, most people's attention span is 3 to 5 seconds. So repeat. Remember the old military rule. Tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them and tell them what you told them, right? Tell them what you're going to tell them and tell them what you told them. So in your presentation, you should talk about what you said, then talk about what you're going to tell them, and then tell them again, right? So they hear it, especially the things that you want to convey that are really important to your presentation. Keep it simple. Don't overdo it. If you only have 15 minutes, I recommend you only cover 3 things. 3 things. 3 things. Only cover 3 things if you only have about 15 minutes. Too many people are trying to pound too much into their presentation. Put out in words what's in your soul, what's in your heart. The heart must be there. People need to feel your heart, your soul, all these different things. It's very important. Very important. So ways to involve your audience. Again, I do a program with a company once a week on Saturday morning, and we actually get up and do cheers and exercise. And so what I do is I put this laptop and a camera, and we stand it up, and we do all these different things, and we have fun. What we do it in the beginning, and if the talk goes more than an hour and a half, we'll do it again just to keep people on target. Next, use your hands, right? Some people, like for instance, don't shy away from using your hands and body. So for instance, if you say, how many have had a bad experience with you put your hand up, yes? How many of you have had a good experience? So left hand is for no, right hand is for yes. Let me say that again. When you're talking about presenting, when you're talking about no, that's left, then yes. Why? You want to get them used to saying no and yes. It's all about neuro-linguistics program. It's something I studied on moving people to buy your products and services on presenting. Yes, you heard a lot of speakers use this. Yes or no, or yes or yes, right? So for instance, if this was a wealth event, I would say, how many of you need to make a lot more money? By a show of hands, say yes. How many of you would agree with me that someone who's helped others make millions, multi-millions and billions could get you there faster with them than you could without them? Say yes. Would you agree with me that if I showed you how to do that, what would that be worth to you? Would that be worth a lot of money? Say yes, right? And so you use yes or yes or no, those kind of things. I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but I only get so much time with you. Visual. Remember your PowerPoints, make them nice and bright. I use a lot of people use too much content in their PowerPoints, and you lose people because they can't follow you. Taking notes, right? Taking notes, right? That kind of thing. Auditory, all right? Use words like listen up. I got something important to share with you. Here's another good one. Here's what we suggest. These are things that top performers use on these presentations to keep people interested. Here's another one. We'd like you to consider, right? These are our phrases. These are induction phrases that keep people interested in your presentation or buying your products and services. How about this one? Here's something you should try, right? So these are just suggestions. I have thousands of these. An idea many of our top entrepreneurs are implementing. An idea many of our top entrepreneurs are implementing. So these are auditory suggestions that keep people in the presentation and get people to start thinking about using you for your products and services. Now let's talk about a little fear. Some people still have fear in these things. So I don't want you to fear it. So let's talk about fear panic. So your heart rate becomes rapid. The key is to catch it before it happens, right? How do we do that, Omar? Well, some people get dry mouth. So always have something next to you. I suggest tea or coffee. It's a lubricant for your voice. Now, don't use too much. If you've already had, I drink 1 cup a day, a half a cup if I'm doing a full day presentation after lunch. Don't overdo it because you'll get too hyper, right? So rapid heartbeat, dry mouth. If you get dry mouth, just little technique that one of my mentors taught me is just close your mouth and squeeze your tongue and it creates moisture, all right? Just like that. And it puts moisture in there. But the best thing to do is have a little tea or coffee with very little cream. I use almond milk, if anything. I don't use any dairy at all at my life, period. Next, nervous stomach. If you have a nervous stomach, a lot of people get on, they have a nervous stomach or gets their stomach upset. Make sure you do that way before. Confront your fears. How do you do that, Omar? See yourself mentally succeeding in your presentation. What rewards will you receive? That means what rewards will they receive from being there? So what I always think about, what will my audience get out of my presentation? Like for me, my hope for all of you is that you get a lot of tools from me that will help you present winning presentations on your next Zoom meeting. You must be prepared though. Preparation is key. So what I want you to do is to realize that you should practice your presentation 10 times the first time, at least 10 times so you're ready. One of the things I suggest is you record yourself. Put your iPhone in front of you and record and see what you're doing when you're doing this. Next, some nervousness is good. I think it's great. A little nervousness is good to keep you focused and energized. Fright, get the butterflies in the stomach. Some people get those butterflies they talk about. So I'm going to show you how to handle all this. It's your breath. Your breath is the key to handling fear, okay? So what I want you to do is, I can't show you right now, but you take your hands and put it on your hips, right? Take your hands and put it on your hips and feel your breath before you get on these Zooms, and I'll do it with you. Inhale through your nose, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. I can't do it, I'm talking. So inhale through your nose, have your hands on your hips, right? And feel your hands being filled with your breath. So behind there you go, in, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's do it together. And then exhale through your mouth. Inhale, exhale. That will take the butterflies, the fear, all that stuff out of you before, but you got to catch it before you do it. Because if you wait and it happens, you're not going to be able to catch it. Energy, move your energy somewhere else. Some people I teach when they're nervous to put their energy somewhere else. Like if you're nervous, some people carry their tension on their back. Focus on your big toe. Send that energy to your big toe. Send it to your big toe. Send it to your big toe. And focus on your big toe so you don't get all nervous. Visualization. Winston Churchill always said, visualize yourself succeeding, right? Perfect practice makes perfection. Perfect practice makes perfection. So what that means is perfect practice, record yourself, do it 10 times, be prepared, have your PowerPoint ready, do a practice run. Perfect practice makes perfection. Let me go a little deeper. Preparation. Preparation. So how do you develop the best format for your talk? I'm going to show you something out of my book, The 1 Minute Meeting, using the 4-letter words, the acronym PACE. PACE, to develop a format for a great speech. So the P is poise. Always stay cool. Stuff will happen. I worked with a mentor of mine just about a month ago. He had never done any of this, you know. He's a great guy. He's 88 years old. Not that, you know, age matters. He's got more energy than most 30-year-olds. But he has never done this. So he was having a hard time working the stuff from his home. So thank goodness my team got on and walked him through it again during the practice, or it would have been a disaster. And literally, we started a minute late, and all we kept telling people is we're waiting for everybody to get on. But he nailed it. Poise, stay cool. Articulate, slow down, don't talk too fast. I just did a presentation with a wonderful speaker that spoke so fast that I didn't know a word she was saying. So slow down sometimes. Count 2. When you're getting questions, give yourself time to think. When you get questions at the end of your presentation, don't just jump into it. Let the person ask the question or text you the question or email you the question or put on your screen, count 1001, 1002, and then answer. That way you're more prepared. Remember that see, feel, go. See, feel, go. Eye contact. Make sure you're making that eye contact with the camera, with your PowerPoint, with your notes, eye contact. When you're looking at someone, I'm not seeing you guys right now, but if you were on my screen and you asked me a question, I would literally look into your screen and talk to you, right? So you know I'm really listening. Let's talk about the speech. I want you to film yourself and listen to your speech. Why? You want to listen for hobby horses. Hobby horses are things that you do, like, you know, clicking your pen, or, fixing your hair, or something that you do that you don't even know you're doing it, right? Seal talk. Seal talk is people that have that bad habit of and a lot of times when they're thinking, they go and that kind of thing. Watch your keys. Get rid of your keys. Get rid of your jewelry, unless you're selling jewelry. I get rid of my watches, everything. I don't want anything making noises that's going to distract you from the message. All right, you can make nervousness work for you. Before you go on, close your eyes for a moment, breathe deeply, and become centered. Say to yourself, and I learned this from Brian Tracy, one of my mentors, and Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor would always say, I am one with the universe and all is well. I am one with the universe and all is well. I am one with the universe and all is well. I am one with the universe and all is well. I am one with the universe and all is well 5 times. Commit to saying this to yourself 5 times when you first wake up in the morning and before you go to sleep at night and before you present. Even the most successful speakers feel fear and nervousness before giving a talk. What is your number one fear about speaking? Well, according to my research for my books, it's the first communication when you start out. So focus on the first 30 seconds. Practice the first 30 seconds over and over and over and over again. Practice the first 30 seconds. Practice the first 30 seconds. Very important. Once you get into the first 30 seconds, we've done research that you get comfortable and you relax. Failure. Don't think you're going to fail like right now. If you think you're going to fail, you will fail. Because what you focus on expands. If you focus on failure, you will focus on failure. If you focus on success, success will come to you. What you focus on expand. And some people worry about being embarrassed because they're not prepared to tell whatever, or they've never done this before. Key is preparation, right? How will you prevent that fear? Remember, we said breath, hands on the kidneys, the hips, breathe. In 4, out 2. Don't overdo it. You'll hyperventilate. Just do like 3 to 5 times. So the speech, I love this from the Bible. Fear knocked at the door. Faith answered the door. No one was there. I love that. Fear knocked at the door. Faith answered the door. No one was there. You know why? Feel the fear and do it anyway. So let's talk about the speech. How can a good format free you from having too many notes? Make sure you don't have too many notes. You'll lose them. If I was looking at everything I have around me right now, I would lose you. You got to focus on the goal of the people. Better preparation, better presentation. Know your subject. Be compatible. How do you do that, Omar? I'm going to show you right now. Ready? List 3 things you can do if your audience seems to be losing interest. So if you practice, and you should practice with your colleagues or your spouse or your loved ones and get them to listen to you and say, is there anything that you feel that might lose interest through this Zoom presentation? Number 2, the way I keep focused on people, ask a question. I told you about the planned pause. You're in the middle of something and you stop and count 1001, 1002. Body movement. Step forward, meaning move forward, move back, side, turn, do whatever you got to do to keep moving. Why would you want to overload your speech with more stories and anecdotes than necessary? Because you want to have better choices. I love using quotes, anecdotes, physiology, like I have successes in the moment, make every moment count, right? A goal is nothing but a want with structure. These are things that I use in my other presentations. What is the advantage of showing your vulnerability to an audience? Openness. You want to be people to see that they can approach you, right? Be responsive, friendly, right? Don't come off as a know-it-all, right? You want to be like open and friendly and let them feel that you're good. Inspire any audience. The funneling process. So the funneling process. So here's how you do it. Here's how you should develop your Zoom winning presentation. You ready? Let's go. Number one, define the desired results you want. What do I want my audience to take home with them after I make my speech? What is your intent? Do you want to get them to follow you? Do you want them to buy something? Do you want them to go online and make an appointment? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to come by and see you, which right now is kind of tough, but you want to be able to find out what is your intent. Number two, know your audience. Like, for instance, I know that on this call, there are different businesses. So I don't want to talk about just one person. Like, I don't want to talk about just real estate, even though there's real estate professionals on here. I don't want to talk about mortgages, even though I know there's mortgage professionals, or insurance, or chiropractic, or lawyers, or like attorneys, or teachers, whatever it is, right? I keep it general, more general. Remember the three needs: your own, your audience's needs, and the needs of the individual. So know your needs. Make sure that you're in a room that's at a temperature that you know that you can handle for an hour and a half, like me right now. But you want to keep a room at a nice temperature. Lighting. Make sure your lighting is good. Like my lighting, I have really good lighting. I have lights that are lit up around me. Not too much though, because then you get the shine on your body, so they can't even see you. I did an event with a person just 2 weeks ago, and it was so annoying that there was so much lighting on their face that you could even you literally, with their face was distorted, you couldn't even read their lips or gestures or anything. Make sure that what's behind you is clear, or you have the name of your company or a nice office. Again, I just moved into this place and I have nothing but my setup. I have everything set up, but I haven't even put a picture up, or anything. So that's what you get. All right, next, keep your presentation focused on a small number of clearly defined goals, each enhancing the achievement you intend. So again, tell them what you're going to tell them what you told them. If it's a small, easy 15-minute presentation, your presentation should do these three things. Ready? It should say who you and your company are. Who you and your company are, number one. Number two, what you have done, meaning what have you created products and services. That number three, what you can do for them. Let me say that again. Who we are, who our company is. Like for instance, hey, my company's been in business for over 30 years in Boca Raton in the Boynton Beach area. We specialize in we have become the experts at doing this, and here's what we can do for you. Just make an appointment with me, or email me, or call me, and we will come out and give you a free consultation. See what I mean? Who we are, what we've done, what we can do for you. Call to action. Never do a Zoom without a call to action. A call to action is having them take action, make something that gets you connected with them. Examine your presentation from the point of view of your audience. Look at it. Like last night, I sat here and I poured myself a glass of wine, and I went over my presentation, making sure that it was clear and content for you guys. And I wanted to cover more, so I deleted a bunch of slides because it was way too much. Okay, so for those of you, before I go and take questions, I have a little something for you. If you go to omarperiu.com, I'm looking to coach a few people one-on-one. If you want to be coached to me, email me at Omar Periu. Go to Omar Periu at gmail.com. omarperiu.com is my website. If you want to be coached by me, write this down. omarperiu at gmail.com. Send me an email and say, hey, Omar, I'd like to talk to you about being coached with you. Or here's one of my personal phone number, my cell. Call me at 561-843-1137, and I will follow up with a phone call. This is my personal, because of my relationship with Troy and the chamber. I want you guys to have my personal cell number, and of course, that's my website. And you can get a free ebook there, or you can, Chastity's going to send you a link to get the free ebook, or you can go and email me personally, which is omarperiu@gmail.com. I wish you great success. I want to stop now and see if we have any questions. Allison, do we have any questions?
I am looking, but that was awesome. Thank you so much. I took so many notes and really, really appreciate everything you had to say. And I learned so much. I mean, in fact, I just texted Chastity and I said, this is gold. So Omar, thank you.
Thank you.
Really,
Well,
really.
you know how I feel about you guys. I think that you, Allison and Chastity, and do a great job. And of course, Troy, who I've known. Oh my goodness, I met him when he was just starting out. And that was, probably should say, but 30 years ago, I did my first speech for you guys at FAU. There was 2,000 people there we had. And the South Florida Newspaper Network, the Sun Sentinel, sponsored it with you. You guys were held the whole event. I did those for 10 years at FAU and I loved it. And you know, Troy and Sarah and the whole team, I mean, you guys, and I love now that we're connected with the Boynton Beach Chamber and just wonderful, wonderful people in South Florida. My goal is to just help you guys be more successful. So any way I can help, you got the free ebooks, you can email me, you can call me, and I'm here to help. But thank you so much.
I'm looking to see if anybody has any questions. You can put them in the chat. Right now, what I'm seeing is great presentation, thanks. Another great presentation, a thank you, and excellent as always, thank you, Omar Periu. So if anybody has any questions, okay, here we go. Here's a question from Jessica Weiss. Do you look at the green light or the center of the screen?
I look at the center, I look at the green light. Look at the green light. I look at the center of the screen for my PowerPoint. So that would be the C, which is the center of the feel, go. See, feel, go, right? So look at your PowerPoint, get the message, say it, feel it, and then deliver. So for instance, if we're talking about fear, I would say, you know, let's talk about fear. Fear knocked at the door, no one answered, pa, pa, pa. And then I say, you know, it's a great quote, isn't it? Because fear is something that we have to feel the fear and do it anyway in life, right? In every aspect, whatever it is, you got to put yourself out. So the only way you learn is by doing it and doing it and doing it, becoming better every day.
Allison, can I just add a follow-up to that?
Of course, Jessica.
I'm trying to understand, like, I'm looking at you right now, but you don't see me looking at you. You think I'm looking somewhere else. Only when I look up at the camera, that's when you see me looking at you. So how do I look at you when I'm looking at the camera?
Okay, so I'm going to look at you right now. Can you see me looking at you?
No.
You don't. All right, well, if you were on a, maybe it's just what we're using right now, but normally if you see me, I would, like for you right now, if normally on the side, on other, like, you know, like for instance, I did a thing yesterday, there was 2,000 people on this humongous screen, like Tony Robbins had 25,000 people a month ago, right? And he was in the middle of it. So when you look at the screen, it normally captures you. But maybe for our situation, if I look down at you, do you see me looking at you right now?
You're looking
No.
down?
Okay, so we'd have to look at the Zoom that you're using and the Zoom that we're using right now, because there's different platforms of Zoom. You probably know that. There's like professional, there's like, I'm sure we got the best one, but there's other types of Zooms that allow you to look at the person. And when you're talking, I wish I knew the answer to that. I have a team, I'm not real techie, so. Okay.
I think also everybody views every Zoom video differently. So on my screen, this is Chastity speaking, on my top row, because everybody has their cameras off. On my top row, I have Allison to my left, Omar to my center, and Susan Commander on my right. And then in my lower screen, I have Jessica Weiss and then Renata Urban. Jessica, you might be seeing everybody different. So that's why you couldn't see Omar looking at you, but I could. I saw Omar looking towards your video, which is on his lower screen.
Interesting.
So it's very different with everybody.
Yeah,
So,
it's interesting because it counts on the platform that you're using. And a lot of these companies that are doing, like I did BB&T yesterday, they don't use Zoom. They have their own platform that they use. And then if I looked at you, I don't know if right now Chastity can see me looking at, well, she's got the.
I do see you.
Yeah, so I'm looking at her. She knows I'm looking at her. So it's important. Every platform is different. So you, Jessica, you want to look at the platform that you're using.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
look at it like a camera lens.
Right,
Like
exactly.
you're looking into a camera. That's all you're doing.
Right,
It just
exactly.
happens to be on a flat screen instead of the camera.
Exactly. And some people have like I do stuff with Grant Cardone and Ty Lopez and some of these Kevin Harrington, and they'll have a separate camera that's looking at them that they look at the people, but there's different platforms you can use that you can connect more than one camera. Some people just, cause you know, the iPhone is so good now, the camera, you can just use your iPhone as a second camera. So that, I mean, I'm sure Allison and Chastity know a lot more about that than I do, because they're, you know, you're able to have more than one screen when you're doing that on your PowerPoint, on your Zoom. So.
Any other questions? Anybody?
Sorry,
Well,
to get into the admit there.
Omar, thank you so much. We always appreciate you speaking, always.
Thank you. Well, this was recorded for you guys. And again, Chastity's going to send you guys a link for a free ebook called Get Fired Up. It's done very well. It's my gift to all of you. If you want to get a hold of me, all you got to do is email me at omarperiu@gmail.com or call me and I'll be happy to help. And guys, we're doing great through this pandemic. Be kind to each other and stay safe. And thank you so much. Remember, success is in the moment. Make every moment count. Thank you.
And thank you all for being here, and keep checking our calendar for more wonderful presentations like this one. Have a wonderful day, and we'll Zoom y'all later.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Omar.
you.